Hello, everyone, and welcome back again for the second part of Alone Against the Flames. Right, so part one there. Obviously, had to go away, get fed, watered, put my laundry away, give my eyes a break because staring intensely at a screen isn't good for you after an hour, so you have to take a wee break. But so we're going to introduce you to the character Fred Wilson. He's leaving his hometown and taking up a new job in Arkham as a journalist. So he's got this small town sort of gazette, small press type thing, going for a bigger, better job. Better resentment from his family and that he was leaving, but at the end of the day, nobody really cares. And he's basically setting off to a new adventure. He encounters Silas, the coach driver, who has a bit of a mishap along the way. To the damage for a bit of a crash. And then getting towards the village of Ember's Head, the coach broke down. God, my brain's just man. Looks like I've restarted. Fred then went to stay at a guest house. He basically agreed to come back in the morning. When he got there, we discovered that Silas has went on and left him. We don't know whether it's for nefarious reasons or he's just being a tit. Nothing actually happened between them. There was an option in the game to maybe have a go at him, but we didn't do that, so that doesn't explain him going away. As Fred's going through the village, he's not really getting anywhere. It's really isolated. The only thing we find out is Silas comes through every week or two, and there's a delivery supply truck that comes through every other week, and that's basically it. No one drives. There's horse and carts about. It's a small village, and everything's basically just rural landscape. We have got the hint that there's some festival coming up, and just before I left, is at the last point, Ruth, Colin, I forgot her name, the landlady's daughter, has come up and warned Fred to basically get out before the festival happens. So now we've come here, he's at the town hall and he's trying to find out what's going on and how to get out here. While he's doing this, he's talking to our characters and trying to get a feel for the place. I've already failed a few rolls, so I haven't found anything out revelatory, but we'll go here. So we're starting at number 43. If you're not familiar with the last Puzzle Bell, this is like a choose your own adventure single player version of the game to sort of help you get through the rules. So a lot of the first video was me faffing about with the character sheet, adding as went along and working out the mechanics. So now we're getting more into the story, and let's go. You step through the door marked private. The other side of the village hall is marked contrast to the public space. The room is compact, lined with shelves of books and file alcoves. One corner is reserved for a tiny pantry, what is presumably a water closet. You study Mr. Winters as he fills the percolator. Although thin on top, his hair is oiled and neatly kept, neatly swept back. His suit is a sober affair, and well tailored, even if the cut is a little old-fashioned. A lesser man working alone might have loosened his bow tie for comfort. On the desk against the opposite wall, you notice what looks like a telegraph set. Okay, so here's your options. To ask about the telegraph immediately, go to 56. To make small talk with Mr. Winters first, go to 49. Right, I think we'll do some small talk. Let's see what Mr. Winters is about. So let's go to 49. There we go, right. The pop begins a girl as you exchange pleasantries with Winters. Living here, it's a trade-off like so much in life. He looks past you at the high shelf. I could wish for access to a proper library, of course, but I know myself well enough. I'm strictly a dabbler, and the cities, his face wrinkles in distaste. Too many people, everyone rushing and shouting. We have a special place here in Ember's Head, and someone must accept responsibility for keeping it so. That was my father before me, and now the duty falls to me. He lifts his chin and straightens up. This evening when the sun sets, Look out at the landscape around the village. We have peace up here, halfway up the stars, halfway to the stars. Are we not privileged? Is this not worth the hardships we must accept? He looks at you speculatively. This seems a good time to ask about the telegraph. Let's do it. Beep, 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 beep. The telegraph? Much as we value our isolation, we do need to link sometimes. You were hoping to send a message? I must apologize. The line has been down for 2 weeks. I reported the fault, but of course they're not so speedy when the problem lies in a rural area. I'm expecting a repair the day after next. I do appreciate how frustrating this must be. The coach is due in, 3 days? But I think he's going west. Perhaps you might engage a wagon. One of the farmers might. You explain that you have asked a few of the residents already, but to no avail. I'll tell you what. Winters pours you a steaming cup of coffee. The dark liquid smells rich and strong. When the repair crew arrive, I'll ask them to take you back with them. How would that be? They might want $1 or $2 to grease the wheels. The day after tomorrow? It's less than ideal, but it's the first real opportunity we've had. Oh, sorry, that was narrating point. Sorry, I was doing character voice, not narrating voice. No. Silly Colin. It's less than ideal, but it's the first real opportunity you've had. Okay? To thank Winters and Lee, go to 180. To ask about his library, go to 62. Right. I don't want to just be walking around the village. Let's find out about the library. Let's get these people talking, and they might slip something about what's happening. It seems quite convenient that everything's broken down just as you arrive. Was it by chance that you got on the coach and happened to be the only person going through there? Or was it designed that anyone gets on the coach the minute they have a stray one person? It just all seems a bit convenient. So let's talk a wee bit more and see what we do. So let's go to 62. You make a small but flattering remark about a couple of the volumes on the shelves. Winter blushes with pleasure. Well, of course, they're not my personal collection. They belong to the village, he says. But I did select most of the recent items. This is the community's library, you see. I put up the private sign to stop people just wandering in from meetings in any other room. But this is really a public space. You scan the shelves. There is a sparse but respectable collection of mathematics and the sciences, passable sections on history and arts, and a shelf of literature. He has a few lowbrow novels tucked away in the corner with tatty copies of Bizarre Tales magazine. Quality does not always equate to popularity, I'm afraid. Winter gives you an apologetic smile. Okay, now we're getting guided. So to take some time for some research in the library, go to 68. However, to leave while it's still light outside, go to 180. So we're not getting any hints that anything's wrong, if that makes sense. It's just by chance he happens to be there. This village is going on in its own world, and Fred just happens to have stumbled into it. So far, apart from Ruth, who's only 10, nobody's given any indication that there's anything wrong here. So me sitting about a library isn't going to do much. And in my thinking, I would maybe come back. If it was going to be a day or two, I'll go back to the library the next day for something to do. So I'm going to leave while it's still light outside. So let's go to 180. No, we let go. Nearly. Aha! Yeah, better. Could I remember that when I started the stream? But as the light fades, you return to the Ledbetter house and eat a light supper. May is unusually taciturn. His eyes flick to yours several times during the meal. There's an urgency there you cannot quite interpret. Afterwards, Maze ushered the girls into the room. You've been in Emberhead, I keep saying hers, Emberhead for nearly one whole day, and you already feel confined by it both geographically and socially. The evening seems to offer little. Right. To do some stargazing, go to 131. To attempt to speak to Ruth, go to 138. If you have a previous appointment, this is the time to follow it up. Alright, so one of my counters might have had me an appointment. They would have given me the number, I would have written it down, and then bounced that. Do I want to be trying to speak to a 10-year-old girl in the middle of the night or in the evening? No. If she had been a young adult or an adult, I would get it. But I know there's where the story's going, but I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling going talking to a wee girl about some things you made up. Yeah. I'm a character I wouldn't even cross his bridge. You know what I mean? She did. She's acting weird, but she's only a kid at the end of the day. It could be the excitement of seeing somebody new, wanting to tell them stories that get them, kids are like that the minute they see something new. It's like, whoa, you're brilliant. Then when they get used to you basically don't exist anymore. Yeah, let's go. Let's do some stargazing. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I'm really overthinking this, something, but I kind of want to explain my thought process while I'm going through this and engaging with the adventure. 131. Oh, yeah, hold on. Let me go back. I'm being silly. Back a bit. 131. Right. You stroll the streets of Emberhead. Already it feels like you knew every corner, every doorstep. There's simply not that many of them. When you emerge into an open space, the starfield above you is arresting. The streetlights of your hometown always interfered with the view, even on a clear night. But here, in this lovely blackness, a multitude of tiny diamonds shimmer between the more familiar stars. The spectacle occupies you for a few minutes. Upon returning your gaze to the earth, you notice a dark figure pressed behind a house. A loose stone skitters behind you. A second figure stirs from an alleyway. Right. Is this where I'm going to get twatted? And this is where I should have bought the knife at the hardware store, but it didn't make sense to do it. Right. So to retreat to the soft safety of the Ledbetter house, go to 157. To confront the figures, go to 163. What do you think, folks? Let's see if we get some combat done and get slapped about a bit. Okay. 163, let's do it. Let's go and confront them, see what's going on. You advance on one of the figures, calling out. It slips into the shadows. By the time you round the corner, it's nowhere to be seen. You turn to the other figure, feeling a simmering anger. As you approach, it also melts away. But behind you, in a dim yard, the first figure has reappeared. You could do this all night. The Watchers know the village far better than you do. Perhaps it is enough to have known them. Perhaps it is enough to have shown them you will not be cowed. Frustrated, you head back to the Ledbetter house. Oh, okay, well, that was pretty uneventful, but you never know. 157. Oh, hold on, here we are. Right. The familiar surroundings of your guest room are becoming constructive. The neat bed, small wardrobe, and dressing mirror have a feel of a prison cell about them. What are you still doing here in Emberhead? Your new life is elsewhere. You lie on the bed and stare at a small crack in the ceiling. You turn over the bed defense, thinking through the little details you spotted. You are certainly weary from the elevation and the fresh air. But do you still feel safe here? If you let yourself fall asleep, go to 224. If you stay awake, go to 230. Okay. One or two things are going to happen. If I stay awake, if something's going to come in at me, I'll be ready for it. But I could also stay awake and collapse into unconsciousness to get me down. Yeah, so let's go to 230. Let's stay awake. See what happens. Sleep presses down on you. You blink it back and sit up, trying to think through your situation. Everything in your head seems to be working to stop you leaving. Perhaps the answer is to strike out at first light, to walk as far and as fast as you can. You can always return for your possessions, and if you lose them, you have nothing so precious that it cannot be replaced. A tiny creak draws your attention to the other side of the room. Aha! Slowly, almost silently, the doorknob is turning. Right. To grab it and wrench the door open, go to 248. To pretend to be asleep, go to 254. Let's pretend to be asleep. Let's see what happens. 254. You slide onto the bed and lie on your side, eyes closed. The hinges creak as the door opens. There's a long pause. A footfall sounds inside the room, then another. The steps are careful and feminine. You give it a moment, then open, one eye a crack. Meg crouches with her back to you. She is fiddling with something in the fireplace. Okay, to confront Meg, go to 260. To wait and see what happens, go to 266. Yeah, let's go to 266. Let's pretend I'm a journalist after all. Obviously, you want to investigate, see what's happening. So let's go to 266. After another few moments, May glances round at you, and you hear the soft scratch of a match being lit. She applies it to something on the grate and tiptoes from the room. Once you hear a bedroom door, you creep to the grate. A small mound of black powder, no bigger than a thimble, is burning there. It gives off heady flames. Right. You may make a hard science botany roll. If you succeed, go to 76. Otherwise, you may extinguish the powder and sleep, go to 58, or stay awake through the night, go to 52. Or you may relax and breathe the fumes out of curiosity, go to 26. Yeah, I'm not going to breathe in weird stuff if somebody sneaked into a room and lit. Hard science botany, I don't think I have that. No. Oh, I've got jump library. I was going to pick natural world, but that didn't work. Archaeology, fools, jump. I don't have it. Psychology. Nice. Advanced but instead swim through. I'm not actually seeing sense. Oh, right. So I've chosen botany just for the sake of it. I would have known what they're lighting, so I don't think that's good. So otherwise you may extinguish the powder and sleep, or stay awake through the night. Right, so the first two options are going to extinguish the powder. Yeah, let's stay awake. Let's go to 52. $52. Close. Go. Now I'm suspicious I'm going to get out of here at the first opportunity. Right. You stare out the window and watch as the sun reaches the horizon, bathing the village in a sickly orange. It has been a long night and you feel stiff and irritable. You rub your eyes. A few minutes later, you hear May bustling in the kitchen. Then the front door opens and closes. Okay, make a constitution roll. If you fail, your skill roll suffer a penalty. Roll the 10s percentage die twice to take a higher result. This is not applied to luck, sanity, or damage rolls. Right. So my constitution is 50. Ah ha ha! 30. No, that doesn't matter yet. No, 30, right. 36. But I passed it. Okay. That's the first roll of pass since I started this. Right. Now go to 64. The Ledbetter kitchen is empty, although bread and eggs have been laid out for your breakfast. There's a note from May explaining that she's taken Ruth out for a few hours. If you're involved in a fight in the village last night and want to investigate aftermath, go to 70. Otherwise, go to 78. Alright, so this is me. I didn't walk around the village. I went to the town hall and then I came back, so I kind of kept myself out of stuff. So let's go to 78. You make a quiet circuit of the village, pausing in unobtrusive places to watch the villagers. It is rather busy for this time in the morning. Yawning locals stream back and forward along the roads, carrying bundles of split logs to the site of what you've heard referred to as the beacon. You see two figures already up in a superstructure arranging the wood. The festival bonfire will be most impressive. But do you intend to see it? Oh, do you intend to stay to see it? You suspect by now that something is amiss here. While the villagers are distracted, you may do some illicit investigation. Or you may simply leave town without looking back. So search Mary Ledbetter's bedroom, go alone to the village hall, take a closer look at the artisan's courtyard, spy on activity at the beacon, slip down the east road and flee for good. Okay, prudence indicates there's something weird here. I'm not actually on a job. I'm trying to get through the Arkham. After last night, May's dodgy goings on, that's kind of got me wound up. I've stayed up all night anyway. I'm going to get out of Dodge, or try to. This is probably going to kick things off and get me captured or something. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get out of here. Try to anyway. Because, yeah, it's a bit weird. I'm getting a Wicker Man sort of vibe here. I don't want to be at the top of that funeral pyre, thank you very much. Or that beacon as a guest. So let's go to 7. 5, 6, 7. Oh. As you approach the southern road that descends to the lower ridge, you see 4 villagers blocking the route with farm tools and clubs. You veer off and head towards the west road. Your heart sinks as you see exactly the same scene at the other exit from the village. You are trapped. Now we're kicking things off. To try and talk your way past one of the guard groups, go to 119. To try and slip past in disguise, Oh dear. The trans slip past in the skies go to 125. Or do you know another way to leave the village? Oh, so there's something. God, there's something I could have picked up. So, do you see how this game works? By the choices you make, sorry, my eyes went wobbly there. So, by the choices you make, you basically end up, you could find the answer, get out of there, but a specific set of circumstances you have to do, and your dice rolls also indicate what can happen. So here I'm trapped. Now I don't have disguise. My disguise is 5%, so that is absolutely useless. Talk past the guards. Oh shit! I should have picked fast talking, shouldn't have. But if they want, that's right, intelligence. Don't have history. I've got persuade at 50. Let's see if they're asking for right. Disguise isn't going to work if too low. I'm going to fluff that up. I have a funny feeling I'm getting captured either way, but let's go to 119. Let's see if I can charm my way out of this. So there's a way to get me out of this village. And obviously I missed it. 119, okay. Yeah, I didn't pick fast talk. I knew it was going to be fast talking. Oh, man. The southern group appears to be less sharp than the western group. You stride up to them and explain they are needed at the beacon. They look dubious. You offer to watch the road for them and hold out your hand for a pitchfork. Nah, you come with us, says the first one. His ape-like brow bends into a frown. Right then. Make an extreme fast talk roll. This is a roll equal to or less than 1/5 of the skill value. The number in the lower right box. If you succeed, oh right. They're not letting me out of the village. There's no way I'm escaping. This is where the adventure's taking place. Okay, so let's have a look at fast talk, which I didn't pick. Right, fast talk is a 5%, so that'll be 1% chance. There's not even there is no chance of me even rolling that. I would have to roll a 0 and 1 to get anywhere, so there's no point me even trying to roll that. I knew it. If I had to give myself fast talk and some points, maybe, but we're not doing that. Okay. If you fail, go to 139, so we're going there. That's just where we're heading. $139. These locals are not as stupid as you think. They grab you and march you back into the center of the village. Go to 108. Tell you what, there's some layout and thought goes into these. I used to love these choose your own adventures as a kid. It's just interesting the way it does. So, the fading light from the narrow window tells you the afternoon is giving way to evening. Your hands are shackled behind your back, so you cannot even lie down on the rough bed. A woman you have not seen before comes in. Her face is wrinkled and her eyes dull. They did not meet yours. But she puts a cup to your lips. So I wonder if I have tried to talk to Ruth. Would that have helped things? But anyway, to accept the drink, go to 104. To reject it, go to 13. Well, I'm not drinking weird stuff. I'm tied up. It's not happening. 113. You turn your face away, and when she tries again, you dash the cup from her hands using the side of your head. The clear liquid spills across the floor. The woman gives a half shrug, then turns to leave the room. You shout after her, but she gives no reaction. You soon become thirsty. All right. That's because you're thinking about it. 205. $205. So I think about how to stay in bed and breathe in those fumes. I'd have been here sooner. This is where everything's leading. So it's how the hell they get myself out of this. Okay. As the light fades outside, your little prison becomes dark. You can hear much activity around the building. Occasionally an orange glow passes the window. The only comfortable position in the shackle seems to sit around at the edge of the bed, with your arms hanging behind you. You need to concentrate and come up with a plan. There's clearly no escape from your bonds. You don't know exactly what your captors want from you, but you cannot ignore the fact that they have spent an entire day constructing a massive bonfire. Yep, right. 27. The door scrapes, wrenching you back into the moment. Orange light spills into the house from blazing torches held at the threshold. Two large villagers step in and grab you. At least you assume they are villagers. They wear heavy black cloaks, and your faces and hands are painted entirely black, save only for a red triangle centered on their left eye. You try to drag your legs, but they reach under your arms and lift you bodily from the bed. Outside, it seems that the whole village is congregate to see you. Every single one has a blackened face with a red triangle motif. Torches sputter and spill fire. You struggle, but you can see physical resistance is hopeless. You are marched to the central street and turn to face the beacon. Go to 117. Dum dum. 117. I'm going to die. The procession down the approach is slow and formal, save when you sense weakness and yank at your captors. A chill touches you when you see three human shapes carried ahead of you, draped in red cloth. The beacon looms larger and larger, its dreadful silhouette a black triangle pointing to the stars. A low drone begins amongst the cloaked figures. Unbidden, the word mourners comes to mind. Smoke from the torches make you cough. You feel heat on your face. As you reach the cleared area around the beacon, three dancers break from the pack, young girls swinging bows of fire in spectacular arcs, drawing circles in the night air. One by one they draw close to you and touch your forehead with sooty fingers. Each kisses you 3 times on the left cheek, right cheek, then forehead. Then they whisper in your ear. The smell of kerosene fills your nostrils. Make an up roll. Okay. If you succeed, go to 10. If you fail, go to 148. This is coming to crunch time. Okay. 60. We've got 50. 4. Right. Passed. Go to 10. Right. That's going to do that. No. 9 on 10. Okay. Through your sacrifice, the village will be reborn, says the first dancer. We pass from earth to air for all our sakes, says the second. I've weakened the chains, says the third. Don't try to escape until the flames are high enough to hide you. You stare at the third dancer. In that inky visage, you clearly discern the frightened features of Ruth Ledbetter. Their dance weaves off and then disappears behind the buildings. So if I'd spoken to Ruth beforehand, probably would have been warned, given away out of the village before this started, but we're here now. Let's do it. Number 18. As you arrive beneath the beacon, 10 villagers close in on you. Working with surprising coordination, they immobilize you to lift you up the blackened iron stairs to the raised platform. You cannot help but shiver at the sight of the central framework, twisted from past blazes, and what you can now clearly see to be fastening points for a chain. None of the eyes meet yours as they lash you to the metal. The village sings now something rhythmic and ancient, carved from odd syllables. A second group ascends to the beacon, carrying the three red draped bodies. With reverence, they arrange their burden in a triangle around your feet. Then they withdraw, leaving you alone with the dead. Shin deep in the sea of kindling. 33. It seems the entire village is gathered around the beacon to watch you burn. Behind the face paint, you recognize Mary Ledbetter. And yes, that is Silas, the coach driver, standing by her side. The audacity and scale of the deception staggers you. A man steps up on the dais and raises his hands with quiet authority. The frame of the spectacles obscures the red triangle in his face. So we draw here together again in this night, as we do each year, to give thanks to the one who will preserve the village against the fire of the void. You will be taken by the ones from above in our stead. Your death will bring life to our streets and bounty to our fields. It will safeguard our children and our elders alike for another year. We salute you. He bows his head. All around the beacon bearers step forth and lift their torches to the edge of the raised platform. A ring of tiny flames flicker up through the perimeter. As they wink, the singing of the villagers drops into an unearthly rhythm. To throw all of your remaining strength against the bonds, go to 44. To wait and see what happens, go to 40. She said not... Oh, God, this is where it gets... She said not to try to escape until the flames obscure me. So if I do it now, I'm going to get caught out. God, it's going to be hard, right? I'm going to wait. Obviously, when the flames go up, that's when I have to escape. If I do it now, they're going to know and they're going to catch me. And maybe put Ruth up there as well. I know it seems a bit mad not to jump away straight off, but let's wait and see what happens. We know what's going to happen, but let's wait. Let's go to 40. Right. The flames snake across the kindling, catching and rising. Smoke rises and it becomes difficult to see the villagers. 3 bodies surrounding you catch fire, blazing with sooty red flames. You begin to cough as the smoke enters your lungs and fight down the urge to panic. If you have learned the strange chant and wish to try it, this is the moment. Otherwise, go to 65. God, there was so much I could have been doing in the village. Oh man, oh well. I genuinely thought my adventure was going to happen in Arkham, and this was maybe a setback or a sidestep that got me involved in something. I didn't realize this was the main adventure, so I kind of was a bit blasé about it. So it kind of shows what this game's about. You have to be like sticking your beak into everything, but good to know. Right, let's go to 65. See what happens to me. "65. Flames lick at your legs, your eyes water, you're shrouded in smoke. It might be your imagination, but you think you can feel a slight give in the chains. You throw yourself against them, giving no thought to how they bite into your wrists. Take 1d6 hit points of damage from the fire. Okay. If this reduces you to 0, you collapse and you're burned to death. The end. Otherwise, make a strength roll if you succeed. Go to 93. If you fail, go to 77. All right, okay. So D6. At the most, I'm going to take... I've got 11. So at the most, I'm going to take 6 points damage. So I'm getting through this bit. 3. So that takes me down to 9. Okay, then I need. Do you know what? I'm looking at these. These are so basic. I'm going to end up buying myself a dice bag again. Flipping those dice, right? So I want to make a strength roll. Strength is 40. Ah, God, 80. Right, no, not happening. 77, right. The chains give a little more. You feel that you could overcome them if only you had a little more time. But as you feel the flesh of your legs char, the fire spreads up your jacket and licks at your face, and you know you have run out of time. You have burned to death in the bacon. Why not try again? By making different choices, you may be able to escape or outwit the people of Emberhead. I perished. Oh dear. Yeah, I should have been nosier. I went around asking more questions. Right. I was trying to play the character. At first, the character had no indication that anything was amiss. Ruth giving a warning could have just been against play, and what you could have done was kick things off for no reason, or brought attention to yourself, because if you stumbled onto something secret, you're just going through the thought process. So if there was something secret going on, but I was only meant to pass through, then I started sticking my nose in. That could have been worse. Yeah. What it didn't do was just fall asleep and let Meg take me, because what would have happened is I would have fallen asleep, they would have knocked me out, and I would have woken up tied up anyway. Oh, God. And once again, your character sheet. Say I had to give myself fast talking, for example, and give myself some points. I might have got out past it. It seems like I should have done maybe some research in the library and spoke to Ruth. If I had done those things, I might have got a bit more of an inclination. But there you go. That was that. Obviously, the first part of this was all set up, learning the character sheet, getting through some of the mechanics. But what did you think? That was quite cool. So that's something I would, for example, I'd keep this and I'd run through the game myself. I wouldn't do another stream. Excuse me, because you just kind of get the idea. But the next thing I want to do is obviously get Roll20. I want to have a crack at that. Get the mechanics of that set up, because I was doing it physically here, but I want to try and work out that system and how to actually set up a game properly. Then I want to get some people, create characters. Need to go through that again, the character creation process. I'm pretty sure I missed some bits out. The hit points thing, I'd put 80 in there, which seems, now that I think about it, really high, especially if it's a D6 damage. So we'll need to figure that bit out. What didn't help was the fact that the way they listed it doesn't follow that. So that's something I need to take care of. Anyway, right, wrap it up there. What'd you think? Was that decent? Was that decent enough for your game to pass the time and get you use the system? There are loads of other ones. So if you're having a crack and want to play, pick one up. Let us know how it goes. If you happen to stream as well and do one, drop us a link and let's have a look and see how you get on. And we'll take it from there. So keep an eye on the channel, and we'll see where we'll go from here, and hopefully a new game in the future. Remember, do all the tidy clicky things that we enjoy. And until next time, keep it creepy, keep it horrific.